Shri RamaKrishna Namo Namaha. Today, from the book Sayings of Shri RamaKrishna, we will listen about the destiny of a man. His holy words about the same are as follows. You see many stars in the sky at night, but not when the sun rises. Can you therefore say that there are no stars in the heavens during the day? O man, because you cannot find God in the days of your ignorance, say not that there is no God. He is born in vain, who, having attained the human birth, so difficult to get, does not attempt to realize God in this very life. A man is rewarded according to his thoughts and motives. The Lord is like Kalpataru, the wish yielding tree of heaven. Everyone gets from him whatever he seeks. A poor man's son, having received education and become a judge of a high court by hard work, is apt to think, now I am happy. I have reached the highest rung of the ladder. It is all right now. To him the Lord says, do thou remain so. But when the judge of the high court retires on pension and reviews his past, he understands that he has wasted his life and exclaims, alas, what real work have I done in this life? To him, the Lord also says, alas, what hast thou done? A man is born in this world with two tendencies Vidya, the tendency to pursue the path of liberation, and Avidya, the leaning towards worldliness and bondage. At his birth, both these tendencies are, as it were, in equilibrium, like the two scales of a balance. The world soon places its enjoyments and pleasures in one scale, and the spirit its attraction in the other. If the mind chooses the world, the scale of avidya becomes heavy, and man gravitates towards the earth. But if it chooses the spirit, the scale of vidya becomes heavier and pulls him towards God. Know the one, and you will know the all. Ciphers placed after the figure, I get the value of hundreds and of thousands. But they become valueless if you wipe out that figure. The many ciphers have value only because of the one. First the one and then the many. First God and then the jivas and the jagat. First gain God and then gain wealth. But do not try to do the contrary. If after acquiring spirituality you lead a worldly life, you will never lose your peace of mind. Do you talk of social reform? Well, you may do so after realizing God. Remember, the rishis of old gave up the world in order to attain God. This is one thing needful. All other things shall be added to you, if indeed you care to have them. First see God and then talk of lectures and social reforms. A newcomer to a city should first secure a comfortable room for his rest at night, and after keeping his luggage there, he may freely go about the city for sightseeing. Otherwise, he may have to suffer much in the darkness of night to get a place for rest. Similarly, after securing his eternal resting place in God, a newcomer to this world can fearlessly move about doing his daily work. Otherwise, when the dark and dreadful night of death comes over him, he will have to encounter great difficulties and sufferings. At the doors of large granaries are placed traps containing fried rice to catch mice. The mice, attracted by the flavor of the fried rice, forget the more solid pleasure of tasting the rice inside the granary and fall into the trap. They are caught therein and killed. Just so is the case with the soul. It stands on the threshold of divine bliss, which is like millions of the highest worldly pleasure solidified into one. But instead of striving for that bliss, it allows itself to be enticed by the petty pleasures of the world and falls into the trap of Maya, the great illusion, and dies therein. Will all men see God? No man will have to fast for the whole day. Some get their food at 9 a.m., some at noon, others at 2 p.m., and others again in the evening or at sunset. Similarly, at one time or another, in this very life or after many more lives, all will and must see God. Little children play with dolls in the outer room just as they like. without any care or fear or restraint. But as soon as their mother comes in, they throw aside their dolls and run to her crying, "Mama, Mama, you too." Oh man, are you now playing in this material world infatuated with the dolls of wealth, honor, fame, etc., and do not feel any fear or anxiety? If, however, you once see your divine mother, you will not afterwards find pleasure in all these. Throwing them all aside, you will run to her. There are pearls in the deep sea, but you must hazard all perils to get them. If you fail to get at them by a single dive, do not conclude that the sea is without them. Dive again and again, and you're sure to be rewarded in the end. So also in the quest for the Lord, if your first attempt to see Him proves fruitless, do not lose heart. Persevere in the attempt, and you are sure to realize Him at last. Meditate upon the knowledge and the bliss eternal, and you will have bliss. The bliss is indeed eternal, only it is covered and obscured by ignorance. The less your attachment to the sense objects, the more will be your love for God. Mere possession of wealth does not make a man rich. The sign of a rich man's house is that a light burns in each room. This temple of the body should not be kept in darkness. The lamp of knowledge must be lighted in it. Light the lamp of knowledge in your room and look at the face of the Mother Divine. Everyone can attain knowledge. There is the individualized self and there is the higher self. Every individual is connected with the higher self. There is a gas connection in every house, and gas can be had from the gas company. Only apply to the proper authorities and the supply will be arranged. Then you will have gas light in your room. Thus concludes the Holy Gospel for today of Swami Shri RamaKrishna on the destiny of man. Thank you for listening so patiently. Shri RamaKrishna Namo Namaha.